Hi, welcome to Colleagues Getting Coffee. I am Annelies James, and today I am joined by the magical, formidable and community-spirited Helen Ruff.
Thanks, Annelies.
I love that you went,
What an introduction.
what an introduction. So tell us, what do you do?
So, I'm Helen, and I am the editor of Flows Mag, which we have here, which is issue 5. And I started Flows Mag a year ago, last October. So yes, it's a quarterly magazine. I also run a market, Flows Market in Portchester, which is a monthly market on the second Saturday of every month. And that is where I live, in Portchester. So I do the magazine, I do a market, and I do networking events for the small business owners who are in the magazine and who come to the markets. Perfect. And who I meet along the way.
You're really like creating a little ecosystem, aren't you? Which is,
it seems that way.
I love this. Where did the idea come from?
Well, I used to run a magazine, so before COVID, I always think of before and after COVID. It seems like my life was, as with many people probably, but before COVID I had a wedding business called Margot's Wedding, which a lot of people around here do remember, and before that it was called Doily Days. I used to have a wedding, so I published a wedding magazine, so I started that in 2012. And I used to organise wedding fairs. So in fact, it's very similar to what I do now, but that was just weddings. And this is, I mean, that would only appeal to people getting married, whereas this could appeal to everybody. So COVID sort of killed off my wedding business, I have to say, for many reasons. And then I started doing really random things in the pandemic, like energy treatments and working with the elderly. And then I gradually started doing some freelance wedding work with a venue, and that led to starting to do the markets. And then that, you know, I started to get to know a lot of the small business owners and what was happening nearby. And then when I sort of reached a crossroads last year, I thought what to do. And I never thought I'd publish a magazine again. But, you know, I was just doing a lot of brainstorming and like soul searching, as you do.
Yep.
And I thought, I could I?
Give it a go. Done it before. Do it in a different way. And let's have a little look, because I absolutely love this. It's brilliant. I've obviously been featured in one. Oh, that's exciting. But the photography is amazing. And the stories and the people are fantastic. How does it happen? Like, how do people approach you? Do you approach them? Because it's got this real feel about it, like this authenticity and this kind of relaxed beauty. That's what I'm going to go for.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It has got its own certain style, and my wedding magazine had that as well. You know, it was a bit alternative, a bit rustic, and I never purposely sort of had to think too much about that. It's just me. It's just like me in paper form.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally understand that. That's something that I always do too. There's like a secret sauce in with stuff that you do, and it's just very you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ever intend it to not have plumbers' adverts or accountants' adverts or whatever. But it's just the way it's happened, like the energy of it.
Yeah.
It is created itself. I mean, obviously I have an input into it, and I work with the same designer who I worked with for my wedding magazine, who's just amazing, and she does the layout, but then I have like quite a big input into it as well. And a lot of the photography is supplied, but I work with a lovely photographer from Netley called Natasha, and she really gets what I want to achieve through the magazine. And at first there was a lot of approaching people, but now after a year it's a lot of people approaching me, wanting to be in it, coming along to the networking events and coming to the markets, and then wanting to be, you know, part of the magazine. I mean, some people trade at the market, they're in the magazine, they come to the networking event, so it's like they
full circle moment.
Full circle.
I love that.
Full flow.
And is that why? Is it called flow for that reason? Like the flow? Where does flow come from?
Well, the name, when I was doing, when I didn't know what I was doing, like after I lost my wedding business in COVID, I started doing energy treatments. I started to do a treatment called Access Bars. No one's ever heard of it.
No, I've never heard of it.
It's like Reiki. People always say, is it like Reiki? I suppose it is a bit like Reiki, but I turned 40 in 2019 and I was given a voucher for a holistic treatment, Access Bars, and I thought, I don't know what this is, but it said, oh, it deletes all your limiting beliefs, like defrags your mind. I'm like, I need a bit of that.
Oh my God, that doesn't sound like a normal treatment. So what happens?
I know. So no one's ever heard of Access Bars. It's an energy treatment. It's points on the head, 32 points to sort of like defrag your mind. It's like a laxative for your brain. You know, energy gets stuck and blocked, and it's a way to release.
We just quickly say a laxative for your brain. I cannot.
Yeah, a defrag for your mind.
It's wild.
Clearing the cache in your brain.
Yes. Oh, we've been joined by a cat. Hello.
I loved it too. So I went for the treatment and I was just like, it was a natural high, honestly. And so I thought, I need to do more of this. So I went for more and more treatments, and I got to know the therapist, and then I said, I need to learn it, then we can do swaps on each other. So I learned it, and that was my business after COVID. I was an energy healer. And I called the business Flows Circle because my old business was called Margot's Wedding, and for some reason I sort of have to have these alter egos in a weird way. And I liked Flow's Circle, your flow of energy, circle of energy.
Well, also the circle of people being involved with your
exactly
as well.
Exactly.
There's a lot of power in the circle. In my brand, it's a circle. I kind of love that. You know, it's solid, like it starts as it ends. I kind of love that kind of continual. And you also showcase local artists on your magazine too, which I love. So they're all different artists, but they all kind of, again, lend themselves to this overall aesthetic and vibe.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I said to you, it's like an extension of my personality. I mean, I have to love the art, and I spend a lot of time searching for the artist for each cover. The cover's so important. I mean, it wasn't even intentional to feature a different artist. It could have been photography. I mean, photography is art as well, but the first one was a pigeon by Helen Heath, who's based in Gosport, and then the second one was a collage by Cut Up Club, and then we've had a textile artist.
The drawing of the angled thing, because I Was Loving Life. Loved that one.
Yeah,
it's my favourite one. I actually collect them like a geek. I've got literally all of them.
I love that.
I'm obsessed.
And lots of people do collect them all, and people who have gave away the first and second issue, they're like, do you have any of those old issues? Because stupidly I gave it away and I want to keep them all now.
I also liked the one with the cat on it. I'm obsessed with cats, of course. So if someone wanted to get involved as an artist or a person to be featured, do they just go to Flow Circle on Facebook? What do they do?
Yeah, contact me via social media. That's the best way. Or email flowcircle@gmail.com, or direct message on Instagram or Facebook. I don't have a website at the moment, but yeah, just get in touch.
So obviously you've had a lot of touch points with a lot of different people, a lot of different industries, all sorts of things, like from markets to networking to publishing, or whatever. What would you say is one of the biggest things you've learned about maybe business life? There's a business folk watching this likely. So what would you say is one of the takeaways from all of your experience?
Well, I would say connection is king. I mean, obviously, that's how I work best. It seems that way anyway. You know, like collaborating, connecting, doing things with other people, tagging other people on your socials. They tag you. Like you said, it then turns into an ecosystem. People support you, then you support them back. And I think for anyone starting out is to just get involved, get out there, talk to people, make friends with people, because a lot of it is just making friends. You know, I've become friends with a lot of my people who I've got to know through the magazine, the market traders.
And I think it's very true that actually a lot of your real supporters in business are other people in the business arena because they really get it. But when I first started out in business, I did a lot of networking. I was sort of everywhere, and everyone would sort of joke about it, like, "Oh, you're here and you're there," and I was like, "Oh." And there's a thing about doing too much and being too available, I think. But so I'm quite selective now to things that I go to. But your networking is really good.
I thought you were going to say, but you're not.
Yours is rubbish. No, it's awful. No, it's great. So how, again, is that just another extension of you? That's just come together and the network come together because people heard the call about this? Or is there a specific strategy that's different for your networking from your magazine and your marketing?
Well, the networking was never really intentional, as some things happen like quite organically. When I used to publish my wedding magazine was when I lived over in Sussex, in Brighton. I mean, that was 13 years ago. I was a lot younger. Every issue we used to have a launch party and we'd have our hair and makeup done, and I was drinking then. I don't drink anymore. I haven't drunk alcohol for 5 years. And so I always used to celebrate. You know, I like to celebrate things, milestones. And but now, all these years later, when I launched the first magazine last October, it's not a champagne thing anymore. It's a coffee thing. So I thought, let's do a networking event. Because again, I used to do networking events for the wedding industry, so it's not alien to me. It's natural to me to want to connect and celebrate. So yeah, we did a networking event to celebrate the first issue, and that was at Tides Coffee Shop at Fareham Marina. And
Great coffee shop. And
I actually we had about 7 people there, and I had to really drag them there. I'm not going to lie, really please come. And, you know, they came, it was good. But we just had one last week at Damson Hill Cottage in Swanmore in this amazing outdoor location. There was 30 people there. It was sold out. People had a waiting list. And I just couldn't believe that from a year ago.
Well, that's how it happens, isn't it? Consistency.
But I never intended it to be a regular thing either. But I think that, you know, like you, I do go to lots of networking as well. And there's different value to be had in all the different groups. Mm. But I think my one, everyone's in the same sort of industry. I mean, there's a lot of, like you say, artists. It's all about leisure, lifestyle, well-being. So we have like yoga teachers or nutrition coaches or people who are into forest bathing or pottery, or, you know, it's all about lifestyle. It's all about things that you do in your spare time.
And on that note, from things that have been shared in this then, what's your favourite lifestyle tip or hack that someone shared through the magazine that you thought, oh, I'm going to do that, that's great?
Well, at the end of the magazine there's a thing that says what 3 things are you inspired to do as a result of reading this issue of Flows Mag. So I always do that. I often have more than 3. But I always try and do the things that are in the magazine. Oh my God, my favourite.
Or something that was surprising that, you know, someone said they wanted to write an article and then you were like, oh, that's actually really surprising and great, and I can relate to that and I can apply that.
Well, I think the things that I enjoy seeing most in the magazine is collaborative projects. So people like yourself, and you obviously a big collaborator yourself, and then there's other people who I've met in Fareham, like the Maker's House, and they work with so many other makers who come in to do different projects. There's a lovely, amazing woman called MJ who runs an aesthetic clinic in Fareham, and she is a big collaborator and has parties, and she's best friends with the mayor. And, you know, I think that when you see stories like that, it just shows like such power of community and connection, and it's sort of like what I think we all need now more than ever, like the power of community. I for one don't want to be spending too much time online. I want to be with people in real life and help people, and they help me, and it's all goes back to the circle.
There's something about like going back to the village, you know, that kind of thing, because I think we all, you know, we have embraced online and that's fine and we understand its place, but I do feel like since lockdown there is this continual need for that connection. I mean, if you take TEDx Gospel for an example, like the people in the room feeling something collectively, the power of that moment. And yeah, the videos are going to go global and that's brilliant, but they won't capture that feeling and that spirit and that shared moment in time. And I think that this, whilst it's a publication, does the same, and I think your networks do the same and your markets do the same, and I think it's really important.
It makes you feel something.
Yeah, I think we need to feel more.
It makes you feel, yeah, that's what I always think about my brand. I always think it's like wholehearted.
I love that.
Where it comes from the heart. And I remember putting in one of my editor's note, like, what comes from the heart goes to the heart. So it really comes from my heart. I don't want to cry on here.
It's okay, you can cry.
No,
You
but yeah.
first.
I mean, that is the whole...
So how, okay, as someone watching, this is lovely, isn't it? But how would someone do that? How can someone live more authentically, run a business that's from the heart? Because I don't know about you, but I come across business folk who are like, oh, I just don't love what I do.
I've always been the kind of person, if I love something, I want to work in it, you know, like, but not everyone's like that. But for me, it's like, I do a lot of vision boards, for example. It's about, we've got one life, or do we have one life? Maybe not, but we have this life and we're all just passing through. What do you want to make of this life? How do you want to live? Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be friends with? How do you want to spend every day? Like, because like small moments make up a day, make up a week, make up a lifetime, you know, and memories and good experiences are what I'm passionate about. So I've tried to make it my work, you know, tried to monetize that. And that is a tricky thing and something that I'm still trying to make work for myself.
Passion doesn't always pay. That's why, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, but I have carved it out, so it is just about paying for my life. So I'm really proud of that. And I think everyone, where there's a will, there's a way. But it's a question of finding what you do want to do. Because if you don't know what you want to do, you're never going to get there. It's like a sat-nav in a car, you know. You've got to put the exact location in order to get there. You can't put a vague location because you won't get to where you need to be. So... you know, there's lots of people in the magazine. I was with someone yesterday. She's a coach. She does like journaling courses. And, you know, it's just about, like we said before, about searching your soul, really niching in on what it is you love, why you love it.
Big questions.
How you can start to get into that world and like feel into the energy of that space. And I think it's amazing what can happen like on an energetic level when you enter into the worlds that you want to live in. It's a bit like fake it till you make it type thing.
Or I like to say be it till you see it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Love that. I love the idea of tapping into yourself and that, and maybe if people struggle with that, they should go on an energetic journey and do this. What was it? Energy bars? What was it called?
Access bars.
Access bars. So I'm going to literally Google that as soon as I get off. So one takeaway for our audience today could be anything we've talked about or anything we've not even mentioned. I obviously did send you a list of questions, none of which I've actually asked you. Well done.
Well, I think I don't practice access bars anymore. That was something that was like a chapter in my life, but I still live by that. And I still live. Someone said to me last year, I said something about it's about energy or karma or something. And someone said to me, you want to get into the real world. But that has become my real world. And I think it's bollocks to say get into the real world, because I think that's what life is about. So for me, just to conclude, it's all about energy.
I love that.
That's all I can say.
And I totally agree with that. And I do believe that energy calls to other energy. And that's why people, that's like even how we have met. That's how that happened. Someone just said, oh, you should speak to Helen. And a couple of people said it and then we connected. But I believe that there's a synergy between the way that we see the world and the real world, you know.
Because you're high vibes networking. Yeah. I mean, even the title of that is exactly what it is. It's about positive energy, positive people connecting.
Like do good and be good, and I believe that good attracts to good too, and that for me is massive.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
I love it. all of this, right, we're going to continue this conversation for probably about 5 hours now. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks, Annelies.
Please check out Flow Circle on social. Just look up Helen Ruff. She is available online. You can find her. And reach out for artistry, for networking, for markets, and for more. So thank you so much.
Thanks.